If we were to ask you what is the most powerful letter in the world, what would you say? We would say the letter M. For over 50 years, that letter, the letter M, has been the most powerful one out there because BMW have been making the most phenomenal of performance cars, the M products, the real halo in the brand, the ones that we all aspire to. And today we're taking a look at two of the most modern, newest and best M products there is. Starting with this. This is the M2, the baby of the range, you might say. We've got a 3-litre 6-cylinder twin turbocharged engine up front, producing around 460 horsepower. 0 to 62 is dealt with in just over 4 seconds, 4.1. We've got an 8-speed gearbox in here. We've got adaptive dampers. We've got a load of individual settings that we can go and change, exhaust buttons and so on. This particular car is finished in Brooklyn grey with the full M Performance body kit on it. What do you think of the looks? The M2 was quite a controversial one when it first came out. People didn't really know what to think of it, but I've got to be honest, I think it looks fantastic. I think it's aging incredibly well. Pretty similar to actually the other car that we're taking a look at today, the M3 Touring, which we'll show shortly. I think BMW just absolutely nail the styling on their cars. The interiors are fabulous as well. You can jump into them, you know exactly where everything is. This has the new dual screen that runs the whole way through with wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. This really lovely digital display directly in front of me. You look out, you see the M wing mirrors, which are just such a signature now, and you know that you're in something special. You know that you're in an M car. And then you press your M buttons on the steering wheel, which are red. I've set it in M2 to put everything into a slightly more aggressive mode. Steering in sport, brakes in sport, the responsiveness on the gearbox dialed up and in manual mode, and the engine on Sport Plus, the chassis into Sport Plus, and well, let's see how this baby M car fares on some absolutely stunning roads. Firstly, it sounds wonderful. This engine, it just sounds fantastic. The responsiveness of the gearbox as well is just wonderful. It's a joy to pull the paddles. And there is such a low down grunt to this engine. The way that it just pulls from low revs, it's got so much torque, so much mid-range performance. You're at 2000 RPM, you start to squeeze on the power, and it just takes off. It absolutely is a fantastic thing. The brakes are beautiful as well. And on a road like this, it just feels wonderful. It feels nice and sharp and responsive. The steering is super easy to place the car. You know exactly what those front wheels are doing at any given point. It feels just alive. It feels like it just always is ready to go and just really exploit what this car has to offer. The balance is wonderful. It doesn't feel like it's skipping from bump to bump like you're all over the place. It's sure-footed. Oh, and boy is it quick. It doesn't take off with some real poise. It is a fabulous thing to drive on a road like this. It just manages these twisty, long rotations with such ease, such a real feeling of accomplishment. And then though, when you want to dial it back, you drop it out of your little M mode and it becomes genuinely a sedate, usable everyday car. And I think that's what M has really encapsulated now with these modern BMWs, is just how easy they can be on a daily basis. You can genuinely use this car every single day, and I think that is an absolute positive, because why wouldn't you? It's such a great place to sit. It can do everything. It can be a snarling beast 1 second, just absolutely propelling you down a road with so much vigor and so much excitement. And then the next, it can just calm itself and just become a really soothing companion. You've got all the amazing technology, your fantastic sound system and so on. It becomes a fabulous place to sit. And this M2, as the baby M car, is absolutely sensational. It does everything you're ever going to want it to do and so much more. I think it's an absolute joy to drive. I love driving it and it feels like a proper little M. But now, I think it's time to go and take a look at the first time that BMW have done an M3 Touring, the car that took the world by storm. Let's go and take a look at that one. So here we are in the M3 Touring, one of the most hotly awaited cars that's pretty much ever been. BMW had never done an M3 Touring before, and then finally they came out with this. So what have we got? Well, we've got more or less exactly the same 3-litre 6-cylinder twin turbocharged engine as we do in the M2, only a little bit more power. In the M3, it's producing around 510 horsepower, which means that the 0 to 62 mile an hour sprint is dealt with slightly quicker, in 3.8 seconds. That's helped by the fact that this is xDrive, so 4-wheel drive, and we can actually switch it to 2-wheel drive if we wanted to, which we won't be doing today. This particular car is finished in the white on the outside with this fantastic orange interior. This has the ultimate pack as well, so we've got the carbon fibre back bucket seats and pretty much every single option ticked. And another one that I've actually never seen before, quite a rare option, this car has carbon ceramics. That's what the gold on the calipers mean. But what's it like to drive? Well, we'll start off quite sedate and quite chilled. It is a brilliant thing to drive on a daily basis. The suspension just deals with all the undulations and bumps and so on in the road with such an amazing compliance that it genuinely is an incredibly usable everyday car. But let's be honest, this is still an M3, so it needs to be able to perform. So what I'll do is go into setup down here in the middle, flick everything across to Sport Plus, steering, chassis, brake and so on, and then put the gearbox into manual, and let's see how this feels in comparison to the much smaller, less powerful M2. Well, firstly, it feels very composed on the road, and it feels just a little bit quicker. Even though this car is much bigger, much more weight to it, the way that it just picks up speed and goes is absolutely incredible. And on roads like this, you don't really feel the car's weight. Of course, it's a big car, it's an estate. But what BMW have done is they've managed to disguise this car's mass. And the way that it just goes through corners is incredible. The steering is so sharp, so responsive, and so darty. You just know exactly what the front wheels are doing at any given point. It feels wonderful. The reactions from the gearbox, wonderful. The sound is phenomenal. But what I love is that heart, that feel of an M car has been transplanted from both the M2 to this. This still feels like a proper M car, even though it's a touring, it's an estate. It's stereotypically an estate is more of a mundane family car, but no, the M3 Touring, it can do that. It can be a phenomenal everyday car, but also it turns into just a wonderful M product when you really want it to. It's fabulous, and BMW M has been doing this for so long, over 50 years of producing some of the most incredible machines on the planet, and the M2 and this M3 Touring are no exception. Wonderful, wonderful products, and if you want any more information on any BMW M product, the M2, the M3 or anything else in the range, please use the link in the description of this video and in the top of the screen to contact your nearest Sytner BMW retailer. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel for plenty more content to come, and I'll see you guys again very, very soon.